We had seen the artificial division between rights and Universal Declaration of Human Rights when that was being drafted between two blocks of countries. One bloc was emphasizing the basic rights and other was focusing on too much on fundamental rights. Unfortunately, we saw that those two streams have been brought into our constitution as well. If we see the Constitution of Pakistan 1973 and we see the rights from Article 1 to 40, because it's very important to make distinction for the general people that when we say, many people say basic right, some people say fundamental rights, some people say constitutional right, some people say legal rights. It is important to have a distinction. What is so constitutional rights means every right which is incorporated into constitution, that is the supreme law of the land. When we say that the supreme law of the land or that is the charter of the country, that is the constitution of any country. So when we say any right which is incorporated into the charter or a basic document of the country, that is called the constitutional right. Any other right which is codified as a legal right in any statutory law can be termed as a legal right. Even those rights which are incorporated into constitution, they can be called as a legal right as well, but they have some other degree that is called the constitutional rights. Coming back to the basic rights and fundamental rights, so this artificial division, some people based basic right on right to food, right to water, means the basic needs which are necessary for the living of a human organism, they termed as the basic rights. And we have seen a lot of scholarship and material has developed over a period of a time which has created the division. And other is the fundamental rights. So in Constitution of Pakistan, unfortunately, certain rights are called as the fundamental rights. So we saw that from Article 8 to the Article 28, they are called the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights in our legal terms, it is called the justiciable. Justiciable means if they are not enjoyed and they are violated by the state or the organs of state or by the agents of state, one has the right to remedy in the court. So that is called the justiciable rights. Courts can call the authorities for not empowering the people for the enjoyment of such rights. The other rights are called the non-justiciable rights, and that is called the principles of policy or the policy directives, and where we say that these rights are subject to the resources, subject to the available resources, subject to the progressive realization. And it is instrumental to know that even the major political parties in the country, they talk about right to roti, kapda and makan. These roti, kapda and makan, they are not the fundamental rights. They are the principles of policy. That means a state will realize those rights subject to the availability of resources. So we had seen that from Article 1 to 40, 8 to 28 were made fundamental rights, and from 29 to 40 they were made the principles of policy. And the very artificial line which was carried out into the international human rights norms, unfortunately carried out into our Constitution of Pakistan.